Hello everyone, this is Waldorf.
This is Statler.
And this is Battle Report 10.
1-0. I can
finally made it,
it finally makes sense.
Goblins versus the humans.
The Umans.
Humans. And this is Goblins. For those of you who are complaining about my orcs and goblins, these are goblins.
Yes, and you found a nice Bretonian. I was trying it started off that way until I realized I didn't have the models. I had to make a last minute adjustment. But I was trying an all-mounted force, and then I've figured out yet again that you cannot play skew lists with Oathmark.
I don't know what you're talking about. So I had a captain on a wolf, 2 champions on wolves. I had 3 wizards, a level 3 and 2 level 2. One of the level 2s is mounted. I had 3 units of 9 wolf riders and a unit of 8. I had 3 units of 3 wolf rider scouts. I had a goblin advisor on foot, 2 units of goblin spearmen, and 2 units of 15 goblin archers, and a light catapult.
Just to try it out.
See how the light catapult went. Mm-hmm. And that brings us to you.
I had 2 level 3 wizards on horses. One with, I think, the Ring of Spells. I
don't remember what it was called, so I just wrote Ring.
Yeah, it gives you an extra spell.
Right.
With Sunblind, Dispel, Mud, and Fireball. And the other one had Shift, Afflict, and Fireball. 3 units of heavy cavalry. Each can have a champ. 3 units of, I can't remember if there's called cavalry or medium cavalry. One with a prince and one with a champ. One just by itself. 4 mounted rangers and 2 units of 10-foot rangers.
Right. Originally, you had 3 units of 4 mounted rangers, I think.
4 units of 4.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then realized you didn't have the models to cover that.
Oh, wait a minute. This is the wrong army for the... I guess I could have broken into my my Empire guys, but that just wouldn't have been right.
So we rolled up scenarios. After a couple miscues, we ended up with chance meeting.
Yes.
And then we rolled, and you became the attacker.
Yes.
Which meant you lost.
Which is I couldn't win because...
you needed 4 scoring units.
You have to have 4 scoring units in your opponent, your defender's side of the table, I think it is.
Correct.
And because scoring the way it's set in the game, you have to have 5 models, and none of my units are 5, except for the 2 units
if you would have gone with your original list, you would have started with 0 instead of half of what you needed.
So I couldn't win, but it's like, yeah, we'll play it out and see how it goes. Right. We'll play for the tie.
Right. Although there is no tie. It's a win or lose, but whatever.
A moral tie.
There you go.
It gave us the ability to play the game, and I could see how this army was going to do.
So in chance meeting, let's start off with terrain real quick. There's two woods in each corner. There's a building down here on my corner, big building, little teeny building up in your corner with we said that was a ruin out in front of it.
Yes.
And off onto the right, there is, to the right of the
There's
building,
actually a hill,
is the hill hidden
right above humans on.
Yes, I can see your guys are half on the hill.
Yeah.
And I think there's a hill over here by the
and there is a hill
left
on the left building. Also, yes. Under the cloth, yes.
Right, and they're under the cloth. They're hard to... They're not that... They show up pretty well if you're sitting in front of the table. They don't show up so well on pictures.
Yes.
And the humans are on the attack. So, I deployed these 3 units.
I guess we have to think about that for next time for photo purposes.
Correct. I think we go back to the hill on top for photo purposes.
I don't know if we go that crazy.
No. Anyway. So the chance meeting is each player deploys 3 units. We went with 17. We started 24 inches apart, so we went in 17 instead of the normal 12 or 8 or whatever. These are the 3 units I placed: the spearmen, archers, and the light catapult. And you placed 2 heavy and archer unit.
Yes.
2 heavy cav and a mounted rangers.
Yeah, I thought the heavy cav could withstand your shooting because of their high defense.
Yep.
And
they did.
And I was hoping with my shooting and the heavy armor, I could clear out your catapult and your archers, and then pin the center.
And then the way the scenario continues is you start with 3 units on the board. Every turn you can attempt to activate 3 units that are off board, and any you activate shows up and makes a second move unit and can take an action, which would be if it takes a move action, it can only be a second move action. So it's basically half move.
And I think I won the initiative on the first turn.
Okay.
I think.
And you have, at this point, this is I think the end of the first turn, maybe. Your archers have come forward and shot my catapult and put a wound. No, actually they haven't at this point. Sorry, I'm mistaken. I brought in a unit of cav down here on the bottom left.
Yeah, I think you failed attempt to bring your guys in, and I brought 2 units
There you go. So I think this was the end of the this was the end of the turn. You have brought in 3 units because you got that mage back there in the middle.
Yes.
And I managed to get 1 over here on the left.
And I think actually my 2 cavalry units failed their command and only got half moves.
Yeah, and then again, there's the shooting attack that I was alluding to earlier. You did manage to get a wound on my, which I'm not at this point. I don't remember if it was them or a fireball from your mage, but one of the 2 put a wound on my catapult.
I believe it was fireball.
And that was the end of that. That's pretty much where that turn ended. And we're going to go to turn 2. Turn 2, you fireballed off my catapult, which was glorious. Happy to see it go, because that was dumb of me to have placed it in the front anyway.
Yeah.
I managed to get a mage in. My level 3 mage managed to get onto the board this turn.
Yep.
And I can't recall what shot you. I think my mage... Did my mage fireball your guys?
Let's see.
I don't think I had fireball, so I don't know what he would have done to those 2 mounted archers. I don't remember. Any idea?
Was your archers in range?
They would have had to shoot the closest. And they were shooting at they were badly firing at that unit of heavy cav and praying for a 10 and couldn't roll one.
Did you gas them with your mage?
I don't know that I would have...
You must have gassed them with your
Maybe
mage.
I did. I don't know why I would have picked them instead of the other unit. Because I think because of where I came in and because of where the hill is, that's the only thing I could see.
Oh, you don't care about closest with that spell.
Correct.
Okay.
That was the problem.
Yeah.
I had come in and only had an action. So the only thing I could see between, because it's hard to tell, but the hill is off there on the left, just to the left of the building. There's a little valley between there, and I didn't bring him far enough over to the left, so the only thing I could see were your horse archers, so I gassed them. That's what it was.
Looks like I brought on another cavalry unit. And another cavalry unit.
Yeah, all your stuff showing up. I think you failed 1 this turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because I only see 5 units in the back instead of 6. If this turn's over.
Yeah, I was good getting my reserves on.
Correct.
I couldn't move things, but I was good getting my reserves.
You were rolling much better with stuff off the board than on.
You were the opposite. You couldn't get your stuff to come on, but you were doing quite well with the stuff on the table.
Stuff on the table.
Which was much to my chagrin, because I was hoping to get all your stuff on so I could maneuver.
Oh, right. So at this point, I've cast Fleet Feet on the spear block, which is that 2 on there. It'll shortly be replaced by an actual card.
Yep.
I just did that to quick remembering.
Yes, which was disappointing to me.
What's that?
The Fleet Feet on the spear. Because I didn't want to fight them in the front.
Because now they have the same move as your cav.
Yeah.
They're both move 8.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. And you can see my mage on the far left is the one that came in and cast the Fleet Feet. He managed to make it in on the second turn. Second turn, I got 2 in.
Oh, and I had some rangers that came on behind the ruins.
Actually, I think I got all 3 in the second turn, because I think this unit here with my prince in it, my advisor in it, came in as well.
Okay. Yeah, you had 1 turn at 3 came on.
Yeah, so I had 1 the first turn, 3 the second, which pretty much evens out, because I was thinking I was going to get 2 per turn.
Yeah.
So it kind of comes out that way. And we go to turn 3.
Yep.
Turn 3, you rolled a double.
Is it your thumb or something?
I think so. I think it was, yeah. It's in all of them, trust me.
Yeah.
And you got Blessing of the Ancestors, which gave every unit in your army as 1 additional level of shielding.
Yeah.
You really needed that.
Yeah, yay.
And to make use of it, you decided to charge my archers. It didn't work out well for me. You did 6 wounds, which I thought was slightly light.
Yeah, I thought it was going to hurt them more.
It didn't much matter because I rolled a 10 for my morale check.
Yeah.
There's my Fleet Feet spell. I rolled a 10 for my morale check, and I think you bounced back an inch. I don't think you pushed me.
I bounced back an inch to get
keep me closer
to my other cavalry unit.
Correct.
Yeah.
So then on my turn, my next activation,
Because I knew this was happening.
The spears charged into your flank, and the spears, Goblin spears are actually fantastic. By the way, this is a Litco tray in process.
Yeah.
Progress stat here. Litco sells these trays, movement trays, that fit 20 millimeters, but end up being,
So the unit
125 wide.
So yeah, so it's kind of like a conversion base.
Correct.
For playing Oathmark.
For playing Oathmark, and they're actually listed on Litco's site as Oathmark.
Oh, are they? Oh,
Yes.
That's funny.
Which is great. But as I was saying, the spearmen pivoted, smashed you in the flank, and Goblin spearmen turn out to be really good.
Because you got a lot of them.
They're ones. They're only ones, but they have 3 additional ranks. They go up to 4, and then they have charge.
Yeah.
So they go up to 5s.
Yep. I didn't realize they had charge.
Which is really good against. It's better than my Wolf Riders. So
yeah, I thought you were going to be 4, and it's like, okay, he's gonna maybe he'll get a guy or 2.
yeah. So with that, combine that with a really good roll, and they lifted the unit.
And you killed 4 guys.
I did.
And I think I killed 1 in return.
I was very proud of that.
Yeah, I was not expecting that to happen.
You only got two or 3 attacks back, so come on, you shouldn't have done that much. You were -1 for being active.
I was expecting
and another -1 to the flank.
to hurt the archers a lot more.
Right.
And then I thought I'd lose 1 or 2. Because I didn't realize you had the charge rule, like I said. So 4s against. I'm sorry.
5s against 13s.
Well, it's been 4 against 13s was what I thought it was. So
I would have did 9s, but
yeah.
Basically, I think I rolled all 9s and 10s anyway,
You
so
did.
I don't think it would have mattered.
Yeah,
much.
probably wouldn't have. So I thought, okay,
whatever.
I'll lose a guy or 2, and you'll bounce me into the woods.
They got very lucky. The spears got very lucky on this. Of course, now the spears, looking at this, are not in great shape, but
In theory, yes.
in theory.
Yeah.
So I lifted you off the board, and there we go. More stuff for yours coming in the back. Looks like a unit of archers coming through the ruins over there.
Yeah, because they're nimble, so they can walk through there with no problem.
So my mage, I forget which one it was, the one on the far right, or this guy here mounted. Not sure which one did it, but one of them cast shift on this spell, and they did a reverse wheel
Yeah,
on the front corner.
You arrived, and you were able to cast it.
Right.
And then, and you shifted. And this was my fault.
You weren't thinking of the shift and let me get my front back to you.
Yeah, because I had an opportunity to charge him, and I did.
Correct.
And I did something else. I don't remember what the heck it was, but I wasn't thinking
you
of the
figured
shift.
they were going to be there for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, they weren't going anywhere. But the shift used defensively worked out fairly well for me in this regard. Now, of course, like you said, I would if you had it to do again, you would have hit them before they could have reversed. But so there we have that.
Well, maybe the challenge is you already had those Wolf Riders there.
Correct. Which were going to slap you back.
And then anything that I sent into you, you were going to charge me in the flank.
Correct.
So that's kind of the...
Yeah, it's a trade-off.
Yeah.
Off on the far left, you can see a unit of archers have come in for me on the far left. And another unit of Wolf Riders have come off on the far left.
Yes.
Left of the building as well. And we got that going for us. We're going to go to turn 4. I ended up putting these numbers here because your dice are not good for turn numbers.
Oh, we'll use the other ones.
The translucent ones do not work, apparently.
I can read it clearly.
You can read it. Wait till you get to like the 3 and the 3 and stuff like that. Anyway, so this turn, I circled him because my mage activates. He stepped forward and did the poison cloud, this time on your unit.
I really hate that spell. It just tears me up every time we play.
I just want to point out that it needs a 9 to cast on 3 dice, which is not a great chance of casting. It's 20% per die or whatever that works out to be. And I've gone 2 for 2 with it so far.
So far.
Just want to point that out. And killed 2 guys, which is fantastic against those guys. moving on, you can see you've shot off one of my Wolf Riders up here on the hill.
Yep, just trying to get up that rank bonus off you, V.
Which you knocked the rank bonus off, and then shot off another one, I think, with a fireball. I think one was a fireball, and the other might have been bow, or might have been a second fireball.
It was a fireball.
2 fireballs?
No, I think one was the bow and one was a fireball.
Okay. So the second one I got hit did disrupt me.
I believe my other mage failed to cast. I was having casting
You were having
challenges.
you were having either casting or activation problems with your mages. Actually, I think they activated. That's just like the one
My
that just
mages
refused to cast.
almost always activated, so didn't cast things.
So we've got that. I've got fleet feet on my Wolf Riders down here as well.
Yep.
I put courage on these guys on the hill, and they managed to activate and pull off their disorganize.
Yep.
And I brought in a unit of spears down here in the bottom left corner. And you can see my mage back here in the back behind this building is just pivoting back and forth, figuring where he wants to be.
At this point, I've got all my stuff on. I'm just waiting for you to get the rest of your stuff on.
My spears have come forward here in the center, my Wolf Riders as well. And you can see the Wolf Riders, 2 units of Wolf Riders off here on the left.
And my Poison Knight's backed up a little bit.
Still missing a Wolf Rider and unit, and I'm also missing my commander, my advisor on foot.
And your 3 units of...
Sorry, my captain on foot.
And your 3 units of...
3 units of
bow Wolf Riders.
Yeah. But my captain on foot, who has 3 dice, is not wanting to come onto the game.
Yep.
I think he finally came in on this turn. There you go. There's a perfect example.
I read it fine.
There's a perfect example of your dice.
I see 5.
Okay. Yeah, I just see the big white 5 off to the right.
I see big white dots. Okay, John Luke.
So
I see 4 lights.
The Wolf Riders they were up a little bit forward. They failed their activation, so all they could do was back. So I can't charge, so I end up backing up out of your range. So you can't charge me.
Yep.
With this one, Fleet Feet, you charged. I charged you, didn't I?
I think you did charge me. What happened here?
I charged you, if I recall. Let's back up 2 pictures. 3. Yeah, I must have charged you because you're not here in the center of the line. You're still where you are. I forgot what you did for your first activation because I backed up on the left. I don't remember what you did. See, I backed up here on the left.
Oh, I think I tried to dispel the Fleet Feet.
You off the spearman,
Yes,
and you failed.
And I failed.
And then the spearman charged you.
Yeah.
So the spearman charged you. They ended up doing
2 wounds.
Two wounds. Did you have 4 there?
Yeah, 3 guys and a champion.
No, 3 guys. Just 3. Come on, it wasn't terrible.
Oh, that's okay.
I did a wound. You did. I don't know. It looks like
back up for a second again.
Yeah, it looks like 3.
I was saying which knights they are because it looks like
they're the heavy knights.
Yeah, there must have been you must have killed somebody somewhere along the way.
You think I got lucky with a bow shot, maybe?
A bow or something, yeah.
Okay. So anyway, so we charged you. I've got 4 in the back now. Then I've got 2 in the back now.
Yeah.
So I think you killed 2 and I killed 1. Not quite sure how we got into this formation.
Not sure.
I think I shifted on myself again.
Maybe that's what
I think this is a picture of an action or 2 later, and I think I shifted again to get the unit of knights over on the left.
You pushed me back maybe an inch.
Yeah.
Or I pushed you back.
You pushed me back an inch.
An inch, and then you did a shift. Yes,
that's what it was. And then I shifted again to get those knights over on the left.
Yes, because I wanted to shoot your guys. I didn't want you falling back too far.
Right. So over here on the left, my archers came forward. Just come up behind the goblins.
Yep.
They can't do much. Wolf Riders. The bowmen have moved forward as well. And since they come up that close, they can do the shoot over and manage to achieve nothing.
I think I disordered you with one of the shots to get the plea on you.
You did, the guys up front.
But both of them shot at you.
Both of them shot at the front unit?
Yeah.
Yes. And between the 2 of them, you got me disordered.
Yeah.
And
think I only caused like 1 casualty with each shot, but
Well, you were moving and stuff, right?
no, I shot then moved.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So we're moving around over
Which,
here.
if you're in ranges, an Oathmark is always the better thing to do because you don't take the minus.
Correct.
Yeah.
We're shifting around here. You can see my unit in the center now has
Yep.
Fleet Feet and Courage on it. The unit parked right
I'm
there
trying
in the
to
middle of the
subtly
board.
shift to the left.
You're
My left, the picture's right.
The picture's right. Yep, and there's my stuff still going on. We're going... Am I going backwards? 44. Okay, no, we're still going forward. And there's the overall picture, and then we're going to go to turn 6.
Yep.
Turn 6. So turn 6, I managed to roll a double 6,
Yeah, this
and which gives me this. I can now disorder a unit of my choice.
Yeah, this was kind of a disaster.
And there we go. Circle the unit. This is the unit with your Prince and 3 medium regular cav
Yes.
in it. So this is the heaviest unit over there. So I picked that unit to become disordered. That way I don't have to worry about them charging this turn.
Yep.
This turn you have the charge, and you charged into my what are they?
Spearmen?
The already disordered spearmen.
I thought I would. You already were fleeing. I'd be able to wipe those guys out.
And you did.
Yeah.
The cascading panic did not affect the archers, by the way.
I think I backed up an inch.
They are really tough, those archers. Oh, and note your odd formation here on the hill behind them.
Yes.
The guy in red refused to sit on the edge of the hill.
Yes, they were all very heavy figures. They wouldn't stand up, so I had to turn one sideways to prop up the other one.
And when you charged me, you have a big lance, so you turn the guy around backwards.
Yes.
As well. In this unit here in the front. Fancy maneuvering. Over here on the right, I brought on a unit of the horse archers, and you had managed to shoot one, but I passed.
Yeah.
Even with a -1, needing a 7, we stuck around.
Yeah, you were passing a lot.
7 on 2 dice isn't terrible.
No, I'm saying it's common, but you were passing a lot. I was hoping for more disorders.
But anyway, shot one off over there. And there's my guy on foot. Finally, Captain comes in and he's moving along. Yeah, that's a very blurry shot. Yeah. The lighting, you're not real bright in your bunker.
Yeah. So that's why you're shaking the camera?
That's why I'm shaking the camera. I have it was a flash, and it had a tendency to move before the flash. It's my fault. I don't know where that 6 I wrote went over there by your dice. I don't know why it disappeared out of this picture. I just wrote a big 6 in chalk on your mat. My guys are moving forward. At this point on turn 6, you happened to mention to me, you said you do realize that you're the defender, not the attacker. And I was like, no, I did not realize that.
Yeah.
So my whole plan was...
It didn't occur to me why is he moving over there?
This whole left flank was just moving to get into your deployment zone, so I'll win the game.
Yeah.
Turns out, I had already won the game.
Yep.
So, whatever. We'll go with that. So at this point, I realized that, hey, this wasn't a good idea. Actually, it might even have been next turn, because I haven't redeployed those yet.
Oh, no, it was pretty early.
It was pretty late.
Yeah.
Because the turn you did it, remember I said, okay, in that case, they're going this way instead of that way.
Yeah.
Anyway. Brought in another unit of horse archers down here on the bottom right.
Yep.
And that little dot ahead of them is my mage.
Yep.
One of my mages just creeping along.
Yep. Yeah, the disorder thing hurt because I'd planned to do the shift that turn, and I couldn't do it because of the
disorder.
The disorder, so everybody else had to stay where they were. Which led to this.
It took them a couple turns to shake off that disorder as well.
I failed. It was the 4th attempt that I finally got it.
So the Wolf Riders charged in to the last 2 remaining. I think that was a medium cav unit, and killed those. My Wolf Riders.
Yep.
And sat right there, knowing full well that you're still disordered and can't do anything with that unit in the center.
Yep.
And the unit on the right, because of that unit in the center, is kind of stuck there as well.
Yep. Because at this point, I was going to roll it off and back up, but I failed to roll it off.
Correct. And you can't back up much because that mage is there behind you, pinning you.
Yes, and then I had positioned the mage poorly.
So we've got that. Wolf Riders, or my Wolf Riders, are very happy sitting there.
Mm-hmm.
Moving forward, off on the Wolf Riders on the left have fired and moved forward. They've killed 2 of your guys, your bowmen. Didn't make much of a difference, but shot off 2 of them, which at least takes off the +1. The other unit came up forward to where you see them there. And over here on the left, my Wolf Riders are positioned to deal with your remaining cav. Now, the problem I'm seeing, which I don't know that you were aware of it or not, is your heavy cav. My Wolf Riders, even on the charge, need 9s to wound you. The spearmen are better on the charge than my Wolf Riders.
Oh no, I was aware of that.
So you're pretty tough.
It's just your units are so large that even if I win by 1 and I kill an extra guy,
Right.
you're still there with a lot of guys.
So we proceeded.
What happened here?
Did I hit him and kill 2?
Who are we on?
In the center Wolf Rider unit. How did I... Trying to think real quick. Okay, so see, you still have 4 there.
Who are we talking about? What are you asking?
Your unit of knights here in the center. The disrupted knights.
With the general, yeah.
With the general. There's 4 there.
Right.
And I think this unit of mine here has charged you and pushed you back. 6.
Yes, it did.
Okay.
And it managed to kill 2.
And you killed 1, I think.
Yeah, something like that.
And yeah, and they managed to push you back 6.
And my archers shot at your bowman and you disordered.
Correct. They shot me into disorderment again. Got it. And we've got that. And
at one point my mage had... I failed my orders on my mage, so I couldn't...
you turned and ran.
So I had no choice but to... No, I didn't fail.
No, you didn't fail your orders. You chose to... You were trying to get her out of my charge range.
Out of the line of sight.
Right. And the only way to... You were facing forward when it was your turn, so the only thing you could do was about face and move to get out of my arc.
Correct.
And that's what you did.
Right.
Head back. They made you way back there on the back right.
It was the green one that failed.
Right.
The other one.
The other one, I believe, failed.
So I couldn't get him out. Couldn't get that one out of there.
So they went to turn 8.
Yes.
Turn 8, I managed to roll a double 1 for my initiative.
Yes.
Which is very bad. Means I lose. I lose the initiative, but I get to kill an officer.
Yes.
So looking around the board, I found this unit of 2, which one's a champion,
and you
who happens to be the officer.
Yes.
And guess what? I picked that unit.
Yep.
And killed the officer on that unit. So yeah, that's 2 that have really helped me a lot.
This one.
I don't think this one. I mean, it's nice. I don't think it does much for the game at this point.
I mean, it helped. It's helped. The other one really helped you a lot. That one,
right. So, next shooting couple of activations, shoot your unit down to 2, but they did not go away.
Yeah, you were shooting quite well actually.
They stick around.
Because every time you shot at me, it was like I was losing 3 guys.
Yep. So those 2 guys pushed you down to that.
They are disordered because that's what that red is.
Oh, right. But they're sticking around. They're not. They haven't left.
Not yet.
We've got that. What is it? Oh, what happened to them?
Who's them?
Your remaining 2 knights up there on the top left charged into my knights, or my knights charged you. I'm not sure who.
I charged you because I had no place else to go.
No place else to go.
Yeah.
You charged me. I believe if I recall, I fought with just the champion and killed your 2 knights, and you killed my unit down to the champion.
And you saw your champion, but you killed my 2 guys, even though I charged you.
And
that was nice.
I became disordered because of that. And ended up sitting there.
Yes.
I'm using the flea markers for disordered, by the way.
Did we reflect the mage charging? Because I think that's happened
already. She hasn't
already.
done it yet, has she?
It looks like because you're activated in the center.
And so are you.
And I'm activated. I think it's happened already.
Your mage charged my unit.
Yeah, just to...
And I pushed you back 6, if I recall.
Yeah, I was just trying to
burn their activation.
Burn your activation so you had less things coming at me.
Which worked.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you took a wound for it.
I did, but it was worth it.
But I think it was worth it. Go back here to my level 3 mage again. Guess what he's got? He's got 3 for 3 with Poison Cloud.
Yep.
And zaps off that unit that was sitting back behind that guy on the hill.
Yep. And I'd kind of mispositioned it because I couldn't line it up for a charge.
Right. So we zapped it off.
Yes.
At this point, the Wolf Riders have made a right-hand turn and come and killed your 2 horse archers that were parked there in the middle, poised to come down and deal with whatever they want to over here on the right-hand side of the board.
Basically that archer unit, which is my only scoring unit left.
Right.
Then I think I turned the face and shot at you
to try to deal with it.
Hopefully disorder you with some luck.
Didn't do anything. And then your knight charged me, or you charged? I charged you.
The archers and killed them.
You charged the arch. Yes, you had. You killed the archers, and then my knights charged
with
him.
Your wolf riders.
Wolf riders charged in to get revenge, and actually, neither one of us did a wound. We both pushed an inch.
Yes.
Which is, again, it's my trouble wounding you, especially when you shield. Now I've got 4 dice for a 9.
Yeah, it hasn't hurt you in the other combats.
No, especially the spears. Spears were mean. And there's my. This is the turn. This is the turn I finally realized. This is the turn 8 when I finally realized that I was the defender, and you can see those 2 units on the far left have finally turned in towards the center of the board. It's like, oh. You mean I'm not supposed to be dashing for your deployment zone?
Yeah, I thought you were just overloading the side to crush me.
Yeah, I have no idea. I mean,
until I saw you going all the way. It's like, oh, wait, he's still going straight.
Yeah. At this point was the turn I moved him forward again, another 9 inches, and you said, where are you going?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I'm going into your deployment zone. He's like, you're like, why? Well, because I want to rub it in that I'm not only beating you, I'm going to, as the defender, get into your attack zone.
Yes.
Yeah, anyway. With infantry. More so. After thinking about this game, I think if we play this scenario, we definitely need to shorten the table to 24. I mean, to 48. It didn't matter in this game because you couldn't win anyway, but to set you back even further away from the deployment zone is not a good idea.
Yeah, well, or because I have the deep table, I always forget about that. Yeah, or just
add inches into their when they come in the board.
Yeah, I always forget.
Right.
I always forget about that.
Again, it mattered nothing in this game because you couldn't win anyway.
No. I mean, it may have affected the placement of the archers some, but
yeah. Anyway, so there we have that, and over here in the center, we've got all this stuff. What's going on? Taking a lot of pictures and not a lot happening.
Yeah, I think
at that point we decided it was done.
I think I finally got the disorder off my general.
Right. And at this point we decided
and I figured,
to call it at this point.
You're just going to double charge those archers.
Yeah, I'm going to charge. Well,
you got the knight there, but I thought
I don't know. Whoever wins is going to go at the. Yeah.
Anyway. Well, you had these guys, and I thought they could maybe get to me, the Wolf Riders, and you had the ones on the other side of me.
Correct. There's 2 on the far right.
Yeah. So you're going to double charge
between all of them. Their archers are going to get double charged.
And that was my only scoring unit. So
right. Yeah. So we gave up at this point.
And I said, yeah.
For a complete Goblin victory, which it was at the beginning of the game, by the way. I want to point out.
Yes, it was.
Before we did anything. Yeah. I mean, if you're going to go for random. If you're going to go from random scenarios, you definitely have to have a unit, an army with scoring units.
Well, I think because you look at some of the scenarios, you go, "This doesn't seem to be a great scenario, and this could really screw you." And maybe I'm giving too much credit, but I think the author too much credit. But I think it is a way to make you balance your army lists.
I'm more convinced that the imbalance in the scenarios is there to help the defender. Because it's built as again, like I've said before, it's built as a campaign game. If the defender loses, he loses territory, or it affects him negatively for the rest of the campaign until he can retake his terrain. This just, there's a negative there, so it helps
I think it's
the defender.
There, but I think the nature of the scenarios
I don't know. You claim to have figured this out, but you don't claim to. You haven't been able to figure out a list that.
Oh,
applies to this.
I just wanted to play the cavalry list. I had my. It's like, I haven't used these Bretonians in a really long time.
Yeah.
I just want to play with them. And
you need foot Bretonians. You've got foot Bretonians.
I have foot Bretonians, but I wanted to do the whole mounted. If I didn't forget that I didn't have enough guys, I would have had whole mounted.
If you would have done 5 units of 5, at least you would have a chance.
There is that.
But just saying.
Yes, but I mean, it's one of the things you have to think about with when you're building your army with the game. And then I saw that with the snare, but I wanted to see how it played.
Yeah. And I definitely like the Wolf Riders.
I really like the Wolf Riders.
They're fast. I mean, they're cav fast. They're movement 8. With a lot of troops are movement 8. I mean, a lot of stuff at movement 8, and fleet feet on infantry gets them to 8.
Well, they're quick enough,
but they're armored enough that bow fire they can resist it.
The 11 to me is the tipping point of having good armor versus
10.
Mediocre. Yeah, I think it's so I think that makes them quite potent for their. I mean, they're not as powerful as any of the heavy knights.
Right.
But
I was powerful enough. Of your heavy knights.
And you can afford so many of them in comparison.
Right.
And a lot of this game really is just about trading models.
It is.
So if you give up a large, and that was the problem I think I had, at least I felt like I had, was I just didn't have I had a lot less units, and I had a lot less.
You had
models.
a lot less units, and the units you had were smaller.
Yeah, so when I lose one, it hurts a lot more.
Correct. I agree, and that's kind of the thing you were dealing with the whole game. And and with my multiple units, I can afford to hit something just, which you had to do towards the end, and you can't really afford to with less units. Hit something just to activate it.
But so much of this game is supporting blocks and hitting things multiple times. Well, if you've got 2 units and they've got 3, you got a disadvantage.
Correct.
So...
yeah. And especially when it's a tense situation. When this one actually when the fighting in the center, it got to the point where we were all both at range. No one could charge anyone yet, and somebody had to move.
Yep.
I had other peripheral units I could burn and not have to move a key unit. Right. Which helped me a ton.
Yeah, because you basically, I had moved my whole army before you had to move. Like you had like 4 other units that you could still do.
And then...
And at any time, you could have, because you tended to have, except the first couple turns, you had the unit advantage, so you could have just sent a unit forward.
Right. Let you hit it and destroy it.
And then just gang up on whoever came out to meet you.
Right.
So but it was interesting. Yeah, I wanted to try it out just to see how it goes. And as soon as we did the snare, I was like, okay, I can't win this, but let's play it anyway because I want to see how this cavalry kind of thing works.
Right.
And it's definitely you can't skew with these rules.
It makes it tougher if you're going to do the random scenarios, definitely.
Yeah.
And
which I like. I like that you can't skew with the rules.
Right. It's so anyway, but I'm still having a great time playing this game.
Yeah.
Learning stuff. I do like this. I kind of like this list. This is a list I played. I don't know if you paid attention to my last video. It's the same list, kind of the same list, but I took the giant out and put in a unit of Wolf Riders and another level 2 mage.
Right.
To replace the giant. Because technically the giant doesn't belong to the Orcs and Goblins. Yes, I understand. They do always have in my book. But
what's the unit?
The other thing I could have played is a Knucker.
Knucker, that's what it's called.
Which is not quite as good as a giant and more expensive. So, but it's got that going for it. But anyway, so I thought I'd do just all troops with this. And again, with the 4 units of infantry, I like the 4 units of infantry. I think that's enough. Although the way the spears are going, I think I need more spears. Spears are fantastic. Goblin spears are fantastic. With 5 on the charge, strength 5 on the charge with a full unit is really good.
Getting to the 5 to me is your target.
Because now even the defense 13 cav have to be concerned.
Yeah, and there's not that much of that, but most of your infantry are like 9s. There's some 10s. So
9s and 10s.
Defense.
Oh, defense-wise, correct.
Yeah, so you want, to me, 5 is kind of like that tipping number you want to try to get to.
The double.
Yeah, so you can get a chance at the double even against the 10s.
Right.
And so it's a good strength, and then it gives you a chance Actually, not a bad chance against Cav. It's what's a 9 and 10? 8, 9, and 10?
It's an 8 if
It's
against
an 8,
your
yeah.
heavy cav.
Yeah, I guess a heavy Cav,
Which is a
and
third.
they're always going to be small units because they're so expensive.
Right.
So yeah, I think that's it. I think that's your tipping point, and you either get that by having elite guys with the, or you get it with having a lot of cheap guys with the rank bonus.
Right.
Which is one of the things this game does. You just decide what you want your points going to be.
Yeah, I'm thinking about working back into a unit of Orc Line Breakers. Because I think they start at strength 4, if I'm not mistaken. They're at least 3s. They're at least a fight 3, but I think they're 4s.
Well, 4's crazy good.
And 4s with a rank or 2 behind them, could be pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And I think
4's would be crazy.
And I'm pretty sure orcs have charge too, so it could be pretty impressive.
Yeah, I thought the difference in the orcs and the goblins was that the goblins didn't have charge.
The goblins lose wild charge.
Yeah. Ooh. So much to my surprise when the spearmen went 5. No, you're only a 4.
Yeah, but it's okay because they're in your flank.
Of course, you were cheating me as usual by knowing the rules better than me. Always with your cheating
Usually
ways.
that's the opposite way. That's usually the opposite thing we always have. You're usually the rules guy.
Not with these fantasy rules. You play them a lot more than I do.
That's true too.
Orc Line Breaker E is a 4. Wow.
How much is he?
He's 18 points.
18 points.
He's a 4.
Yeah.
Holy shnikes.
And he has what? Wild charge?
He's got charge and wild charge. Charge 1.
He has no shielding though.
That is correct. Yeah, those freaking goblin spearmen. You got brace, you got shield, you got charge. It's like
Brace, shield, and charge, right?
It's like, what the heck is going on?
Yeah, they're
with
really
that?
good.
Yeah.
For 11 or 12 points apiece. So they're really good.
For 11 points apiece. Yeah. That's why you had so many of them.
Continues to 20. You need to get a third or fourth unit of 20. Yeah, it's the difference between that or line breakers. Problem is they both have the activation of 6, so that's tough.
Yeah, Toller, you were having a good day.
I was having a good activation day on field.
Well, it was like you were having bad luck putting your reserves on, which is exactly the opposite of what I wanted.
So my reserves would come in first.
I wanted to know where your guys were going to be so I could then mass all my guys and go in one direction.
Right. I wonder if the game...
And try to avoid some of your infantry. I actually didn't really want to fight your infantry.
Right.
At least on wherever it ended up. And then it was all about those little horse archers, because even those guys you have to be careful of.
As far as what?
Oh, they get a little bit of shooting at you, and you don't want the flank charges.
Yeah, it is just so bad. I think they're fight 1 with a charge 1.
Yeah, that's fine.
They're not good. That's not fine.
My archers wouldn't have been happy getting charged by them.
No, you wouldn't have been thrilled, but you probably would have killed them.
Yeah.
They are still defense 11 though, so
Yeah.
that's the big thing.
Yeah.
The anyway, yeah, I'm liking the wolf. I'm liking this army a lot.
Yeah, yeah.
Adding the third mage. All 3 of my mages had fleet feet, by the way. It's just
you were casting that.
And you can see it all over the
difficulty.
place.
Yeah.
To me, I think that's one of the best spells of the game.
Yeah, it's really good.
For what it is, and it casts on a 5 or a 6, something pretty low.
Yeah, I thought about taking it, I didn't.
And courage as well, which is a 5 or 6. I think I
tried 3 dispels and they all failed. It's a hard thing to cast, but...
Dispel's an 8, which is probably a little high.
Yeah, but I shouldn't have failed them all.
No, but considering I was rolling 3 dice and got all 3 9s.
Yeah, I tried to... I got off most of my fireballs.
Well, I don't know. No, the one chick was failing the fireballs almost like 3 turns in a row, I thought.
Oh, I thought she failed her orders.
One of the 2.
Yeah. But yeah, and then...
yeah.
But yeah, no, it's so just allows you to play with different things.
Yep. Again, had I known I was the defender, these 2 units on the far left would have been over here on the right at some point. There's no reason for them to come over there because your archers had already shown up by the time they came on the board.
Yeah. No, that's what I was just thinking. I wanted to get your guys on the table, and I wanted to go wherever you weren't and just...
Right, and I was like, oh, look at this. I've got a free run. I wonder why.
And then hedgehog someplace. And I was trying to stretch out and wait until your guys came on, but they were just... You were rolling badly. It's like, God damn it, why is he failing those rolls? And he's making everything on the table.
Right.
This is
It's just the opposite of what I need.
I wonder how much you've been microwaving your dice or something.
I have. Worked out really well for me.
Obviously.
Yeah, and there, this unit of archers down here on the bottom.
I think at the
board,
last
you say
turn
on the
it came
last
on.
turn, which was turn 8 or 9,
Yeah.
is when they finally showed up.
I mean, in this scenario, that is the downside to having a lot of activations.
Yes.
Because you only get 3 a turn.
Correct.
So it can.
3 of the off-board ones a turn.
Yeah, it can
So
mean.
Yeah. If you're,
So another thing, to me, to balance skewing lists,
Right. Yeah.
And that tray on the upper right are not all my casualties, really.
It's not? What is that then?
That's the reserve.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
You're getting ready to play another game later, right?
exactly. They were coming in to relieve these guys.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't have, I think you have, 3 Cav models left? And your 2 mages?
3 cav, 2 mages, and some archers.
Yeah, it looks like 12 archers.
Yep.
Yeah, that's rough.
Yeah. Oh, and the last turn, you actually got that double again, and you killed my champion and my officer in my archers, I remember.
Did I?
Yeah. You said, I'll just take those. That way you only have 1 die.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, well. I don't remember doing that. We didn't play that turn, so I don't think it mattered.
Well, you said, let's roll the dice and see what happens.
Oh, okay.
And we rolled it, and you got the dice. And I'll just take that. It's like, okay.
I'll just do that. Right.
We've had enough of this.
Yeah, because I wanted to hit your match. That's right. Now you're correct.
I'll take my curb stomping now. I don't need to have any more of
Because I
it.
thought about hitting your mage with it, but then I realized you can't because the mage isn't an officer of a unit.
Right.
Your wounded mage, because they'll do the second wound and killer,
Yeah.
is what I was looking for. But figured out you can't. It's too bad. I was robbed. Yeah.
So, all right.
But anyway, overall fun game.
Yeah.
Keep playing. It's a great game.
Till next time.
All right. Thanks for listening.